KP's Kingdom, cooking with KP, and today I'm going to show you how to make a Tonkatsu pork. Yes, a Japanese fried pork cutlet or fillet. We're just going to use a nice little pork chop here for starters. Let's get on with it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make up some fresh breadcrumbs. You can use panko breadcrumbs and you can use your normal store-bought breadcrumbs. I like doing it this way. They end up really crunchy and really fluffy. They end up with a really nice fluffy light crumb. Alright, so I've just got some couple of day old bread there. I'm just going to blitz that up in the food processor a couple of times, and you can see how nice and light and fluffy that breadcrumb is, and that's going to give us that really nice golden edge. Right, here I've got some little pork chops. I'm just going to give these a little light seasoning with some salt, just like that. You can add as much or little as you like. You don't need a lot for this particular dish, as the tonkatsu sauce is a little bit salty. Alright, so season those up. A little bit of fresh black pepper, right, a bit of pepper there. You can use a bit of white pepper if you really want to as well. Okay, so we're going to season both sides of those, right, like that. There's our second side, and the next thing we're going to need to do is get these nicely softened. Right, it's a nice little trick I have learnt over the last few years. So just keep seasoning those up as much or little as you like, just like I am doing right there. And if you haven't had tonkatsu pork before, you don't know what you're missing. It is incredibly tender. So here I've just got a good sharp knife, and I'm just bashing it with the blade of the knife. You can see we're putting little tiny cuts into the pork like that. I'm going to give that a bit of a flatten out, and try and use a blade that is a little bit flexible, right, not as high carbon steel. Alright, so I'm just going to do that, and as you can see, the pork is actually expanding in size just a little bit. We're not compressing all those fibres down like we would do if we were using a meat mallet, and this is just a really nice little technique. Alright, time to make our tonkatsu up. So I'm just using a bamboo skewer to handle my pork, right, and you can actually achieve a lot just using the bamboo skewer instead of your hands. And there's always a risk when you're breading something, we're going to get it all clumpy and ugly on the hands. Now that's just a plain flour I've dipped the pork cutlet into. Now into just some egg, beaten egg like that, get both sides like that, and simply now into the breadcrumb. And this is a great little hack. It's going to save you getting egg and flour and everything all over your fingers. Alright, just makes it nice and light as well. Alright, so just pack down your fresh breadcrumbs. Now sometimes you might need to give it a second dip in the through the coating process, and if you feel it needs to, by all means do it. You'll just end up with a crunchier, thicker batter. Alright, so there's our pork. Look how fluffy those breadcrumbs look. Right, and I am going to go through and bread that particular one again. Alright, it looked a little bit light on. Alright, so back into my flour, back into the egg. I'm just going to use the skewer from here. All I've got on my fingers at the moment is a little bit of flour. Alright, so just nice and carefully and gently manipulate that pork through the egg like that. Right, be nice and careful, and all we simply do now is we're going to put that back into the crumb again. Alright, now I'm going to deep fry these, and I'm going to deep fry them at around about 160 degrees centigrade or Celsius. Alright, so I've already got my deep fryer happening, right, so that's already going in the background. I'm not going to show you how to deep fry a pork chop. There's no point, because the lid's on it and you can't see what is inside. Alright, so simply just pat those down like that, and we can put those aside, and I do let them sit in the refrigerator for maybe 10-15 minutes just to set once we are done. Simply, I'm going to just fast forward this. I'm not going to bore you with crumbing all those pieces of pork. I'm going to just crumb those, put them in the refrigerator 10-15 minutes, make sure our deep fryer is up and running. So I'm deep frying those for around about 5 to 6 minutes, or until they go golden brown. They'll still be just a little bit pink on the inside and nice and tender. I'm going to serve this up with some boiled rice. I'm using an old takeaway container for my mold. So just put the rice into the mold, give it a tap, take it off, and all we simply have to do now is get our tonkatsu pork wait till you see the color of these. Look how golden brown those are, and they still really nice and tender on the inside. As I said, 160 degrees, around about 5, maybe 6 minutes, depending on the thickness of your pork. Get yourself a really good sharp knife. If you want to know what knives I use, I really love my Fury knives. Right, they're original Australian design, and they used to be made here in Australia as well. Unfortunately, manufacturing has gone offshore, but the quality of the knives, which is a lifetime guarantee, is absolutely worth it. And no, this is not a sponsored video. I just let you know what products I use from time to time. So we've got that pork chop cut through. We're going to try and reassemble that pork chop back on top of the rice. And here I've got my Tonkatsu sauce. Now you can make your own Tonkatsu sauce. It is quite a labor intensive process. It is far easier for you to just buy your Tonkatsu sauce from your Asian grocer or supermarket. We can actually find it in our local supermarkets, and be careful, it will drizzle out the end at times and make a little bit of a mess. I should have cleaned that up. I'm going to serve that up with a really nice clean slaw made with a little bit of sake, a little bit of mirin, and a little bit of rice wine vinegar, and just a little bit of peanut oil. Alright, how simple was that to do? Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, hit that like button. Gives me confidence. Should make you feel warm and fuzzy too. Hit that notifications bell. You'll be notified every time a new video goes up. Please share this video with all your friends on all platforms of social media. We're trying to get the name of KP's Kingdom out there. Leave a comment. Love reading, and I love responding to them. If you want to learn how to make some little Japanese recipes like this, I've just spent 4 days making nothing but Japanese recipes. Well, you need to come and join the family, my family. Hit that subscribe button and you'll never miss another one of my videos again. I've put my Tonkatsu pork, and I will catch you next time.